Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary with the Get Some podcast. And my guest this week is...
This motherfucker Gary.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Owen with the Get Some podcast. Shouts out to Dallas, Texas last week. Had a ball. Sold. What we have? We had 8 shows. We had 6, and then we sold those out, and we added 2, and then those were pretty crowded too. I think we sold out 6 of 8, but even the 2 that wasn't was packed. So it was a great week in Dallas. That was always great. Addison Improv, that club. I wish they would expand it. I wish they'd make it bigger. But I'm going to get back to my week in Dallas here in a second. But I want to go on my schedule to start the show. Fort Wayne, Indiana. First time ever. I'm coming this weekend to the Summit Comedy Club. So that's going to be June 1st to the 3rd. That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So, and then the week after that, I'm in Oklahoma City. June 9th through the 11th at Bricktown Comedy Club. And then June 16th, 17th, and 18th, I'm in Chicago at the Schaumburg Improv. I think shows are already selling out in Chicago. But that's one of the better markets we got. And then all my listeners in Iowa, hopefully you guys are listening out there. I'm in Des Moines, June 21st at the Funny Bone. June 22nd, I'm in Omaha, Nebraska, at the Funny Bone. And then June 23rd, 24th, and 25th, I'm in Kansas City at the Improv. And I'm going to close out June in Portland, Oregon. June 30th through July 2nd, I'm in Portland. That's enough. Last week I went way too long. I went like the whole summer. So this weekend I'm in Fort Wayne, Indiana. If you know anybody in Fort Wayne, tell them to come on out to the show. Dallas was a great week, as always. I always do New Year's Eve in Dallas. I do the Texas Trust Theater in Grand Prairie. We're going to do that again. We got offers out to some huge comedians, and I hope they can come through and we can lock down these shows this month. But a couple things happened this weekend that I thought was interesting and be fun to talk about. So I get Facebook messages all the time. I get DMs all the time, like every entertainer, and 90% of them you just delete and don't even pay attention to. You always got guys. The funny ones to me, and comedians can appreciate this, and maybe musicians, is when guys go, "Hey, what I got to do? What does it take to book you? Hey, I want to bring it in my city," and I'm going, I'm booked every week. It's not hard to figure out how to book me. Just call my agency, and it's funny too because and comedians know this. The big promoters, the big time ones, the Live Nations, the AEGs, the I'm not gonna give people's names out, but we all know the big time promoters. And I didn't want to say their names because I think they want to remain anonymous. But we all know those legit promoters. Those guys, they book you and then they promote. They're called promoters. They might ask for a post every now and then, but they're not hounding you. You start these first time promoters are the smaller ones. Oh, they don't leave you alone for posts. And the ones that get me are the ones that sometimes you do a show with them and then you're getting paid a little less money because you're in a smaller market normally. And then they ask you to do the most. And then when they start asking you to pump their name, hey, put my IG on there. Put my company's IG on. Make sure you tag that. I'm like, oh, is this about the show or is it about making you famous in your city or your town? So, but I say all that to say this. So I get this DM from this place called Tactical Fleet. And in fact, I'm going to give their IG out because they gave me a Rolls Royce for the weekend to drive. I didn't know if the guy was legit or not because he sent me a message, and I'm going to leave his name anonymous. But this guy sends – oh, God, my spelling is terrible. He sends me a message, and he's like, yo, I got this company called Tactical Fleet. Yeah, they are. And they do nothing but exotic cars. Nothing. And I went to the website and I go, is this legit? And I was going to drive to Dallas from Houston. And then I said, oh, this guy seems legit. And we got his number. We were texting back and forth. And I was like, oh, I think this might be real. So then I said, I'm gonna risk it. So I flew. So I fly to Dallas. I Ubered over to the warehouse where they're at. Oh, my God. I felt like I was in one of the Fast and Furious movies. It's just a warehouse, a huge garage. Huge. I mean, talking hundreds of cars. And the only thing they have Bentleys, Lamborghinis, Range Rovers, Rolls Royces, and Lamborghini, Maserati, Lamborghini, Rolls Royce, Bentleys, and Porsche. Yeah, it's just all the exotic cars you can think of. And they said basically, I was like, the guy that asked me to made the generous offer, he wasn't there. He was flying out. So the other people who worked there was there, and it was like a woman when I walked in, literally like at a movie, like I swear to God, her arm came out and she goes, pick one. And I was like, what? So the guy on the road with me, T-Robe, he's losing his shit. He's texting me. He got there an hour before me. He goes, yo, this is crazy. There's no way they're giving you a car. There's no way. So we go, and one side of me was like, Lamborghini, but we got luggage. I'm a big guy. And Lamborghini would have been cool for a night, but we ended up going with the Rolls Royce truck, the Cullinan, $414,000. I looked it up, how much it's worth. So I'm thinking when I said I'll go with that one, I thought they were going to put me through the ringer. Lady goes, just give me your driver's license and insurance card. I give her that, and she goes, all right, we're going to pull it around for you. And I go, there's no way this is happening. And then we got in the car, and I was just like, whoa. So for 4 days, they just let me use it. And here's the great part. Now I'm flying out Monday. I'm like, it's holiday. How am I going to get the car back? Nobody's coming in on Monday. And the guy that made the initial generous offer, I flew in on JSX, used to be called Jet Suite, JSX. I flew from Houston to Dallas on that. So now I'm flying back Monday. This guy was flying from another city on the same airline, which anybody that knows JSX, it's almost like a private airline place. They got their own little terminal. You don't have to go through all the wear and tears of security. You don't have to get there an hour and a half for a flight. Your flight's at noon. You can get there at 11:30. You're fine. He's flying in on Monday. So basically, I drove the car there, left it at the valet, sent him the picture of the valet, and he picked it up when he landed with his family. I was like, dude, this weekend could have been perfect for as far as that goes. So shouts out to Tactical Fleet. I got the floss all weekend. And those cars ride really smooth. I felt like I was driving on a couch all week. And I didn't want to get anything dirty. And I didn't even see the back seat until somebody got in the back seat. And they was like, you press a button and like an airline TV tray comes down. The TV's actually in the seat as opposed to adding the TV screen onto the seats. It's already in it. I was like, okay. Yeah, this is another level. Like I have a nice car, but I don't have a Rolls Royce. But I was like, yeah, this is a little upgrade from what I'm used to. So shouts out to Tactical Fleet for letting me use a Rolls Royce all weekend. And then another thing happened. I kept getting a message from this family, and they kept saying one guy, his sister. He said, my brother is supposed to graduate high school on the 30th, which is the 25th. He doesn't want to go to graduation. He wants to come to your show. He's 18. And she's like, my dad's going to bring him. So, and then I think the guy's dad reached out. Like this kid, like 3 people from his family had reached out to me. And it caught my eye. And I was like, I couldn't remember like what day it was. So when I got on stage Thursday at the first show, I looked down. I see this kid, and it looked like a young guy and his dad sitting there in the front. And I kept thinking, I wonder if that's the kid. So I get done with I'm about 45, 50 minutes into my show, And then I started talking to him and his dad, and I said, where are you guys from? And he's like, Wichita Falls, Texas, which I guess is about a 2-hour drive from Dallas. And that's when it came out. The dad was like, yeah, he wanted to come here instead of graduation. I go, you don't seem happy about that, Dad. And he goes, it's his own choice. He's a man. And then I think that was his dad's personality. And then go, how's his mom feel? He goes, oh, she don't pay child support, so she ain't got to vote. I go, oh, Dad letting his nuts hang. But I was like, I gotta give more time. So anybody's at the show Thursday, you could thank this kid. His name's Logan McAllister. He's the reason I did almost 2 hours that night. Because I was like, this kid, he's missing high school graduation to come see me because I guess I'm his favorite comic. And I got to give him a little extra. I got to give him a little extra time. I have fun with him and his dad. And I guess he's going to Mexico to play football. But he wanted to come see me. And so it's like, as comedians, it's great to have fans when you come to a city. But when you got people that make trips to come to your show, I was like, man. That just hits different. And missed his high school graduation. And I had to tell him, like, yo, high school graduations are boring, bro. Yeah, I mean, you made the right choice. This was way better. And they really are. Like, high school graduation's like, it's a height, but you kind of, and I asked his dad how many people graduate, and he goes 400 in the graduating class. I go, last name's McAllister, you're right in the middle. Yeah, you would have been sitting around for an hour and a half. And then that's it. Then you say their name, you cheer, and then it's over with. So I think you made the right choice. But shouts out to you, Logan McAllister, for coming to see me instead of going to your high school graduation. I mean, I know it probably meant a lot to you, but it meant just as much to me for you to do that. So that was the two big things in Dallas this week. Got to ride in the Rolls Royce for free, and a guy missed his high school graduation to come to my show. And why, when I get there last week, the day before, freaking Tina Turner passed away. I was like, yo. I can't believe it. I was like, I don't know what your favorite Tina Turner song is. Mine's the Mad Max one, the Beyond Thunderdome. We Don't Need Another Hero. Oh, my God. I just can't. I didn't know she moved to, like, Switzerland. And they said, why'd you move there? And she goes, because her husband was there. And she was like, and she dipped. She just left the United States. And I guess she died peacefully in her home around her loved ones, almost like how you want to pass away. I didn't realize Tina Turner was 83. I'm still thinking she's like 30. I'm still thinking of, like, Angela Bassett, Tina Turner. So that kind of sucked. But since I'm on the music tip, she passes away. And then I'm just, comedians, we bored. We in the hotel going through YouTube and stuff. I come across this guy named, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Iam Tongi. He just won American Idol. He's this Hawaiian dude. And I caught the first audition when he was singing for Lionel Richie, Katy Perry, and everybody, the judges. And he tells this whole story about his dad passed away a few months ago. His dad got him into singing. And then he sings. He's a big Samoan dude, too. Then he sings this song by James Blunt that I never heard of. And it's a daddy song. Hold on. I got to look up the title. I don't want to give the wrong name for the song. Monsters. That's what it's called. It's Monsters by James Blunt as a song. I never heard of it. And then this Iam Tongi, his name is spelled Tongi, but I guess in his culture it's spelled Tongi. The T is like a D. He sings this song. I'm glad I was by myself. I'm balling in my room. I'm balling like I put myself in a room where a dad's dying and I'm sitting there saying goodbye to him. And it was just like, his dad died a couple months ago. It's like he wrote this song, and the way he sings it and delivers it, it's not just how he sung it, it's the backstory, why he sung it. And then he's such a good singer, and then he's crying. He can't get through it. Sometimes his voice cracks. I'm like, oh, my God. That was the American Idol I remember. For some reason, like any show, Survivor, Walking Dead, it goes so long, you don't watch it like when it first came on. And it's almost like you leave it to YouTube to tell you who's good in these. I'm mostly go to American Idol like the mess ups, the people that aren't good. But every now and then you'll get those people that just blow your socks off. And this is one of the guys. So he sings that song in the audition. Obviously, he gets the golden ticket. He gets to go to you're going to Hollywood moment. And then I don't know at what point, I'm sure it was in the finale, he gets James Blunt, or they get James Blunt to sing with him. And they're singing it together, and this kid loses it. Like, he can't get through the song halfway through it. And James Blunt, I don't know if he was covering for him or not, but he starts singing with them. And you look over, and Katy Perry is losing it. And then it's funny because I saw it on YouTube randomly, and then I'm flipping through Joe Rogan's podcast, and I see the singer Jelly Roll. He's on there. He's talking about it. He's telling Joe, you got to see this guy. He's in flip-flops, heavy set. He's exactly how you think a native Hawaiian would look, the big guys. When you think Hawaii, you think the big Hawaiian guys, and you think the hula girls, and you think people surfing normally. And he looks like the big Hawaiian dude. And Jelly Rolls, he's telling about on Joe Rogan, he's like, man, I can't keep myself together. Now, Joe Rogan's dang near tearing up. This Jelly Roll's dang near tearing up. And then when they do the finale with James Blunt, I'm assuming it's the finale, Jelly Roll sitting next to his mom. I'm going, okay. I go, so it wasn't just me. And then he wins the whole thing. Let me make sure I did that correctly. Yeah, it was Jelly Roll. I'm just double checking, make sure I'm giving the right people their just due. So it was just, if you get a chance, go look his name up on YouTube or anywhere. Iam Tongi, Tongi. So it's spelled Tongi, and just look for the first audition. I mean, his other songs was cool. Like, he did a good job going through it, because there's now like this 45-minute compilation of all his performances. But the first one was the best, because that set the tone. And the other songs were always good, but, I guess that's what American Idol is all about. This first Hawaiian-born guy that won it. And it was just like, oh, blows your socks off, man. Blows your socks off. So, in other news, let me transition to sports. It's enough about music. Denver Nuggets are playing the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals. Miami Heat's the number 8 seed. I don't know if you remember, like 2 months ago, but they lost the play-in game, the first one to the Atlanta Hawks. And then they win the next one. Now they're in the NBA Finals. This is it almost feels like a repeat of the bubble when they went on that run and lost to the Lakers. And I think it's going to end just like that did. I just can't see the Heat beating the Nuggets. It's such a Cinderella story, man. And I'm not saying it's hard to root against either one of these teams, because you got one hand, you got the Heat, you got Jimmy Butler, you got a bunch of guys that got cut from other teams, a bunch of free agents. You got Eric Spoelstra, who I remember when he first got the coaching job in the Heat, everybody's like, it's because of D Wade and LeBron is why he got it. But he's showing that dude can coach. And God, I mean, Tyler Hero's been out. By the way, the funniest thing for Game 7 was Jack Harlow shows up in a Celtics jacket, but Jack Harlow has a song called Tyler Hero in a video with Tyler Hero in it. And Tyler Hero's on the Heat. So I don't know why I thought that was funny when I saw him. I go, ooh, that's got to hurt if I'm Tyler Hero. So it's hard to root. I mean, they're such underdogs, but at the same time, you got Jokic, who's been the MVP for 2 of the last 3 years. Should have been MVP this year, if we're being honest. I mean, I can't say shouldn't. He was in the running, but I think he didn't get any votes because they haven't done anything in the playoffs. So you got him. So either way, either Butler or the Joker's going to get a ring this year, which is good. But I just think the Nuggets have been the best team all season consistently, and they're big and they can shoot. And look, Joker's going to be like, what you want? Do you need me to rebound tonight? You need the assist tonight? Or you need me to score 40 tonight? I heard Tim Legler on ESPN say, I think he's going to put up astronomical numbers in this playoffs. And he's probably, I think he's going to average a triple-double. And I don't mean like 10, 10, and 10. I mean like 30, 15, and 20 type deal. I could be wrong, and we'll see next week when I come back. But Denver might sweep them. I mean, I don't think people are realizing the run they're having in the playoffs right now. Well, they lost 3 games, the whole playoffs. They've been consistently the best team all year, and I think it's going to continue. If it could be a sweep, 5 max is what I see this doing. But I could be wrong, and I'm not saying I'm rooting against the Heat. Man, I hate those Cinderella stories, but if you're going to ask me to put money on it, I'm putting everything on Denver. So I'll take bets. People want to bet on the game. If you watch this, you want to throw some money out there, I'll bet you. So it's up to you guys. So we'll see what happens. So this past week, too, was big for comedians, boy. Bert Kreischer and Sebastian had movies come out. And the big thing about these movies, like Bert Kreischer had The Machine, and Sebastian had About My Father. I'm going to go to Box Office Mojo and see how they did this weekend. I wanted to wait. I hope they did well. And here's why I'll tell you I hope they did well. So this weekend, let's see. Oh, Little Mermaid just crushed. And we knew that. Oh, my God. 201 mil? Oh, that can't be right. Jesus. Yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot. That's a 3-day weekend, but. Oh, no. 117 mil. Must have been week 2. Oh, my God. So, yeah. So they made 117. Okay, Little Mermaid made 117 million this weekend. Fast X made 28 million. Guardians of the Galaxy made 26 million. So they went over 300 million total. So Bert Kreischer did, his movie The Machine did 9 million. It was number 5. And then About My Father, Sebastian's movie, did 5 million. So the big thing is you got to see what the budget is to see if it made money. Does it give the budget? Opening, what is it? I don't see the budget on this. Yeah, I don't see the budget. It was in 2,400 theaters too? Shit. That's good. It's funny how they describe the movie. Bert's drunken past catches up with him 20 years down the road when he and his father are kidnapped by those Bert wronged 20 years ago while drunk on a college semester abroad in Russia, which is a joke from his act. It's a huge joke. The joke's like 30 minutes long. It's ridiculously long. It's rated R, action comedy. So it made 9 mil, and then Sebastian's movie About My Father, 5.3. When Sebastian tells his old school Italian immigrant father Salvo, played by Robert De Niro, by the way, that he's going to propose to his all-American girlfriend, Salvo insists on crashing a weekend with her Tony parents. Okay. This one doesn't give the budget either. Or maybe I'm not looking correctly. But anyways, I just hope both of these make more money than what they cost and they make money off of it. And I'll tell you why. I was having this discussion with my manager not too long ago when he was talking about how comedies post-COVID are not going to theaters. They'll go to Netflix, they'll go to Amazon Prime, they'll go to Hulu, but they're not hitting theaters. Mainly the theaters have been like Marvel movies, superhero movies, and kids movies, Disney or that whatnot. But we need these raunchy, About My Father's PG-13, but The Machine's rated R. We need these, like I saw Bert in a theater talking about it. We need people to go see these movies because then the Hollywood very much follows trends, and they'll start doing more of these movies, literally taking a joke or part of a guy's act and turning it into a movie. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I can't even imagine how that feels for Bert and Sebastian. I mean, I first saw Sebastian 20 years ago at the Comedy Store, and Tuesday nights was Fat Tuesday, which was the black night. And Sebastian went up there and pulled a freaking Ray Charles move. I'll tell you what he did. He went up and he dimmed the lights and they put the spotlight on him. And then he just did his act. And the same act he does right now in front of 20,000 people that's all white and Italian, he did it in front of all these black people that night and crushed. And I was like, yo, you're young. You're like, there's something there. I don't know what it is, but there's something there. And then he just found his audience and killed it. And now did a freaking movie. I don't think that's a joke. I think that's more of his act, Sebastian's act. But Bert, the machine, that's just straight up a joke that literally took his career from here to here. And I think the two things about Bert Kreischer that took his career to the next level is, one, that joke and how it just went everywhere, and getting in good with Joe Rogan and getting his own podcast going. And it seems like Rogan's got these guys that he really fucks with, that and early on too, that they're like tentacles of his. You got Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, and then Andrew Schultz more recently definitely benefited from going on Joe numerous times. And then Bert's had his podcast, and it's weird. I don't know how the algorithms work, but when they start working for you, oh my God, you just take off. And the fact that now they're doing movies based on somebody's joke, oh my gosh, it's exciting. And both these guys are, I think Bert's in his mid-50s, Sebastian's almost 50 if he's not 50. So it's exciting, like these guys, middle-aged guys are, I'll just put it this way, it's never too late in our line of work. And to see something like this, me as a comedian, it's like so inspiring and hopeful. And you're like, oh, just got to get that. I don't know what it is. And I don't know. And I know comedians, if you're listening to this, it's weird. You'll put a joke on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. You'll put a joke on it, and it'll get a different reaction on all platforms. Like Instagram, it'll take off. You'll have all these views, but it won't do shit on YouTube. And then it'll do great on Facebook, but won't do shit on TikTok. And then I'll do something on TikTok, and it takes off there, but won't do shit on Instagram. It's like, I don't know how this works. I don't know how the algorithms work. I don't know if there's a certain time you should be posting stuff, a certain topic, but there'll be jokes that I'm like, that is a good joke. It is shot well. The volume's good. Visually, it's good, and it won't do shit. And then I'll do one like it looks like somebody's iPhone. The sound ain't that great, and it'll do better numbers than the better joke, well shot, good sound one. I can't figure it out. I just can't figure it out. There'll be stuff I'll post, and I'll be like, oh, this should do really well. It won't do nothing. I did an interview on a radio station 6 years ago. I had no idea it had millions on top of millions of views. And I don't know, I found it one day, just searching my name on YouTube one day, and I was like, what the hell? That interview? And it was just a normal morning show radio interview that just took off. And I went, of all things, same with my jokes. I didn't know I had a TikTok page. I have a social media team that works for me to edit my videos and cut them up and put them out there for me. They just hit me one day and was like, yo, you got like 600,000 TikTok followers. I go, really? I'm on TikTok? And they were just cutting up old jokes and that, the TikTok people hadn't seen. And now I'm like 2.6, 2.7, 2.7 million, 2.6 million, something like that on TikTok. And if you go to my TikTok page, the things I have pinned, I got a sketch I did with Desi Banks that got a lot of views, and I got this joke, and it says Bengals game is the title. It's like 19.5 million views, and I go, that joke went nuts on TikTok. And then I'll do another joke that I think is hysterical. It'll get like 40,000. I can't figure it out. And then I don't know. I just can't figure it out. Why some jokes hit and some jokes don't. It's the most random thing. Even like the hot one now is Matt Rife. Matt Rife's everywhere right now. Just taking off. And he's a TikTok guy. He put all his bits, cut up bits, and got them on TikTok. Good looking dude, late 20s, and the girls just went nuts. I said he's like Harry Styles. He's like Harry Styles for stand-up, or you could say he's like Dane Cook 20 years later, where Dane Cook, MySpace, and took off and really got on. Really, his internet game was on it before everybody else. And then Matt's the same way. And Matt's not, the funny part about Matt is he might be young, but he's not new to the game. He's been doing it since he was 15. I remember Gary Abdul, the manager, the guy that runs the Uptown Comedy Club in Atlanta, he was telling me about Matt. He goes, yeah, I got this young guy. He goes, and he even said, he goes, what's with you Ohio guys? I said, what do you mean? He goes, I got a young guy from Columbus. He goes, he's like you. He goes, he can hang with the black guys, and it's not weird though. He's not doing too much. I was like, I said, we cool, man. White guys in Ohio are cool. That's all I can say. And who else did Gary have? Gary's had a couple people that just took off. And it's funny, Gary Abdul said that, and then Terrence J did a movie, and I remember he shot it in Dubai. And I can't remember what the name of the movie was. But anyway, Matt Rife was in the movie. And I don't know if it came out, it just came out. If it didn't. But this is probably about a year and a half ago. And I asked him, I said, hey, I asked Terrence next time I saw him, I say, how's that Matt Rife guy? You know, I go, I met him a couple of times, but he's an Ohio guy. And, you know, Ohio guys, it's weird. We stick together. But just you see somebody from Ohio and you ask about him. If Matt Rife was from, I don't know, Arizona, I would probably never asked about him. But the fact that he's from Ohio, I started asking about him. I said, how's Matt? And Terrence did the same. He goes, what's it with you white guys from Ohio? I said, what do you mean? He goes, he's just like you. He goes, he hangs with us. He's not doing too much. He goes, and he's always trying to get an ad-lib in the movie. Like, he goes, you'll do the scene and he's going to throw an extra word in. Or he wants to do one take where he's doing it his way. I said, dude, it's in the water, baby. We got all the talent. I go, I ain't trying to brag, but you can say that about sports. Who's from Ohio? LeBron James is from Ohio. Who else? Steve Harvey, Cat Williams, Dave Chappelle. I'm not gonna say myself. George Clooney. No, I don't think George Clooney's from Ohio. He's from Kentucky, but his dad was the 6 o'clock news guy when I was growing up. Nick Clooney. I'm trying to think who was from Ohio. I'm sure people are gonna hear this and be like, "How do you not say that?" In fact, in the comments, just put famous people from Ohio that I'm gonna. Drew Carey. Oh yeah, probably Drew Carey's from Ohio. You know what? I'm gonna look it up. Sarah Jessica Parker is from Ohio. Joe Burrow. Do I need to? You know what? I should end it right there. Joe Burrow's enough, baby. Famous Ohio people. I wonder if I'm even on the list. Oh, Charles Manson. I ain't trying. I'm just saying, if you're gonna go big, baby. Steven Spielberg, Guy Fieri, Luke Perry, Macho Man Savage. Oh my gosh, we're destroying you guys. What? Why does it say Steph Curry? Steph Curry was born in Ohio? I didn't know that. I guess he is. I got famous people from Ohio. LeBron won Steph Curry. Boom. Machine Gun Kelly. Get it? Neil Armstrong. Thomas Edison. You're welcome every time you turn on the lights. Oh, I forgot about Halle Berry. Simone Biles was born in Ohio? I thought she was from Texas. Paul Newman. I don't forget about John Legend. Probably because I'm just an ordinary person. I forgot. Ulysses S. Grant. Doris Day. Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters. Randy Macho Man Savage. Guy Fieri. Orville Wright. Wright brothers. I forgot. We wouldn't even be flying if it wasn't for Ohio. Clark Gable. Kid Cudi. The Miz. Boom. Martin Sheen. Tracy Chapman's from Ohio? I didn't know that. I didn't know moving in a fast car was from Ohio. Brooklyn Decker. Now keep in mind, I'm going down the list, and they're going from 1 to. I thought it was in order of the most famous to the least famous, but no. I guess these people were born in Ohio, which still we'll take it. Dolph Ziggler, professional wrestler. Rob Dyrdek. I forgot about Rob. Luke Perry. Jack Nicklaus. Oh, my gosh. Went for Tiger Woods. He'd be the greatest golfer ever. This can't be right. DaBaby? DaBaby was born in Ohio? Hold on. DaBaby wasn't born in Ohio, was it? That can't be right. Hold on. That can't be right. Where's DaBaby? If this is, because I put famous people in Ohio and had him on there, but DaBaby wasn't born in Ohio. Where'd you go, DaBaby? Hold on. Where's he at? So this page will tell you where they're born. I hope I wasn't giving off fake names. Where you at, DaBaby? 50 Cent was no. Dang. See, John Legend, Springfield, Ohio. Come on. I thought he was from North Carolina. I know that's where he grew up. Come on, where you at, DaBaby? If I scroll all the way down, then they don't tell me where he lived, where he was born. Jesus. Is there a search bar in this? This would be the top one. DaBaby. Come on. Yeah, because some of those names I read off, I go, I didn't know he was from Ohio. Maybe just, okay, this is ridiculous. I don't want to, no. That's it. That had to be. Why doesn't this tell you where they were actually born? Like, vote for your favorite people from Ohio. So I guess he's from Ohio. If you notice, I haven't been on the list yet, so it's kind of bothering me. Pete Rose. Oh my God, I forgot about Pete Rose. Should be in the Hall of Fame. Katie Holmes. I knew Katie was. Carmen Electra. That's not her real name. I remember her from back in the day, growing up. She was always at this. There was a Sunday teenage spot called Caddies in Cincinnati. Yeah, we used to get it in. Caddies. Trippie Redd. Ed O'Neill, Married with Children. I knew Charles Woodson's from Ohio. So, I know some of these. Yeah, they must have been born there because they wasn't raised there, but they were born. Sarah Jessica Parker, Drew Carey, Tracy Lords. Yeah, we do porn. We got porn people. Bow Wow. I forgot Bow Wow's from Ohio. Stipe Miocic. Travis Kelce. He ain't messing with Ohio. Deborah Winger, Officer and Gentleman. Fred Willard. Oh, Fred. He just passed away, too. Fred. They said Roger Clemens was born in Ohio. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, Roger Staubach, Cincinnati. Luke Grimes. I don't think I'm going to make it. They didn't put me on the list. They got a bunch of astronauts. They got Tom Segura on here. Joe Great, Logan Paul. I forgot about the Paul brothers. Le'Veon Bell. Cy Young. Cy Young. Yeah, you know the Cy Young Award? Cy Young is from Ohio. John Havlicek. Ruby D. Dude. Jamie Farr. If you guys remember MASH. Luke Kuechly. Cincinnati guy. Chris Collinsworth ain't from Ohio, is he? Like Arsenio Hall, Adrian Broner, Mitchell Trubisky, Buster Douglas, James Harrison, future Hall of Famer. Dang, they ain't got me on here. Oh, I'm at 135. Who made this list? Who made this list? Jason Kelce, Travis and Jason. Duh. David Justice, Charles Oakley, Boosie Collins, Kobe Gerhardt. They got Brian Hort. dang, they got people. Okay, they got some people. I'm like, ain't nobody got Gary Owen on here? Ain't that something? I'm like 200 in. It's kind of embarrassing. Nope. Ron Harper, AJ Hawk. I'm just off the grid on this place. Really? Chris Carter, Barry Larkin. Dang. I'm at 215. I still ain't on the list. There's some people, and there's some people I'm more famous than on this list, by the way. Well, Jake Paul was 219, so Kurt Hershey. But enough about that. Well. So anyways, I told you guys I was going to do a movie review every week. Man. Okay, so I saw a movie called Dragged Across Concrete on Netflix. Never heard of it. Came out in 2018. Mel Gibson, Vince Vaughn, Michael Jai White. I mean, the movie was so good. So good. And I turned it on thinking I was going to fall asleep. It's one of the movies like, I'm kind of awake, but I'm tired. I probably won't get through it. Man, that movie was so good. It's about two cops. They get basically kicked out the force. They rough somebody up. So they do some dirty stuff to try to get some gold that was stolen. And just the stuff they go through. And the bad guys on this are ruthless. These guys is always covered in masks. You don't see their face the whole movie. There's like two guys, you don't see their whole face. They just come in like shooting. They'll come in like, give me your money. Like, they'll go to a convenience store, give me your money. They got to get the money, they'll just go. It's almost like No Country for Old Men, how that guy was so ruthless, the bad guy in that. It's similar to that. Like, no heart. They could care less. And then it's just so matter of fact when they do kill him. They go, yeah, I had to kill him, and his girl was there. I know she's going to be there, so we killed her too. So she's gone. But we got the gold. But I can get into the movie, but Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn, you can't go wrong, especially with those two together. They're forces of nature. And I never heard of this movie. So if you're on Netflix, do me a favor, go watch Dragged Across Concrete. You won't regret it. And it's crazy, like Mel Gibson, he got drunk. He said all that stuff years ago, and he kind of got blacklisted a little bit in Hollywood. But he's made a nice little comeback on these, they almost look like independent movies that I never heard of. But there's like 3-4 movies that I've seen him in the last like 5 years. I was like, that was another good movie. It was a classic Mel Gibson movie where, like the Lethal Weapon Mel Gibson, where, I don't know, it's just, there's guns involved, there's shooting involved, there's scandal involved, all that stuff. And you always feel like he's going to be okay in the end. I'm not going to tell what happens in this movie, but it's a twist. A couple things happen completely unexpected. I was like, oh, because you feel like when you got big names in it, and there's other big names too, but you feel like they're not going to die, or this guy's for sure not going to die. And then this movie, you're like, oh, I don't know who's going to make it. Almost like Game of Thrones. You never knew who was going to die. You like, there's no way that person's dying, and then they die. It's that type of movie. There's the girl from Dexter, the one that their sister. She's in it. It's just a good movie. It's just a good movie. It's like classic cops get kicked out the force. They didn't really do anything wrong. They wanted to be good cops, and they're like, they feel like the system betrayed them. So they're going to go to this world of crime, and not to hurt anybody, but they're just trying to get a quick cash, gold bars type deal, and the stuff they have to go through to try to get it. Oh my God. I could get into it, but it's pointless. Just watch it. Dragged Across Concrete. Mel Gibson, Vince Vaughn. It's so good. Michael Jai White's in it. Funny. There's some one-liners in there. It's just a good movie. So, do yourself a favor and go see it. So, that wasn't really a movie review. It was just me saying that's a good movie with good actors. And it's always good to see Mel Gibson on the screen. I don't really care about people's personal lives. We've all done dumb shit when we're drunk and said dumb shit when we're drunk. I don't know. I just think a person could have a hell of a career, give to a bunch of charities, do all right, and have one bad moment. And people want to end people now. And I don't agree with that at all. So I'm glad to see him back in front of the screen. So like that. I just never heard of it. 2018? That means they shot it in 2017. I was like, where was I? I missed all this. So anyways, that's my review. So, all right. Well, this weekend I'm in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the Summit Country Comedy Club, June 1st to the 3rd. So come see me, and I'll see you guys next week. This is Gary Owen with the Get Some Podcast.